G'day to my internet friends. Yes, my name is George, and I'm here to tell you about today's message of hope, 1st of June 2026 edition. We have arrived at the first day of winter, and I'll tell you today it was absolutely freezing. But let me tell you what else is happening. You see, let's go back to the time where my sister gave me a Rubik's Cube when I was 10 years old, roughly about 10. I remember sitting alone in my room with it, turning it, working at it, getting nowhere, right? Except I got frustrated. And I remember at some point when the solution absolutely refused to come to me. Hey, I did what a frustrated 10-year-old does when nobody's watching. I peeled the stickers off, and then I tried to rearrange them and put them back. The cube looked solved. It wasn't solved, no. I just couldn't stand the frustration anymore. Nobody saw me do it. Not that it was any big deal anyway, but which made it worse, I guess, because I cheated. But I knew it. And there was nothing to show for all that except turning the cube with a slightly curled sticker and a boy who had learned absolutely nothing about how to solve the problem. So here's the thing I want to tell you about shortcuts. They don't feel like failures when we take them, do they? I've taken many in my life. I suspect you might have done the same. They feel like relief instead, don't they? Yeah, we are tired. The real solution is hard, and the workaround is sitting right there in front of us. Now, I've heard of people who consolidate debt onto a lower rate card and genuinely believe they've dealt with it because the number looks smaller, right? The breathing room feels real. But if the spending that created the debt hasn't changed, boy, nothing has been solved. So, look at my example. The stickers have just been moved around, that's all. Now, have a listen to this from James chapter 1, verses 2 to 4. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. So James is writing about trials of faith. And I want to be honest about that before I borrow his principle. But what he observes applies anywhere the testing is real anyway, right? The testing produces steadfastness, patience, unglamorous, keep turning the cube steadfastness I'm talking about. And that steadfastness, not the shortcut I was talking about, is what produces something complete. And that's a good thing. Now, I watched a video recently of Yi Heng Wang. That's how they pronounce it. He's the Rubik's Cube World Champion in 2025. He comes from China. Very young boy. His average solve time across competition rounds was just 5.54 seconds. That is amazing. And I sat there watching it and genuinely could not believe what I was seeing. Wow, my brain kept insisting it must have been edited, but no, they wouldn't do that, right? I also watched a separate video of a solver for the Rubik's Cube completing the cube blindfolded. Unbelievable, wasn't he? He memorized the cube's configuration before the blindfold went on and solved it entirely from memory. Whoa, talk about having gifts. And both times I watched with my mouth open, like this. Now, that is not talent arriving fully formed. That is just thousands of hours turning the cube when nothing visible was happening and nobody was watching. And now here's a story I've never particularly wanted to tell you. It's a little bit embarrassing, isn't it? I did IT support at a bank many moons ago. And there's one universal truth about office life is this. Always there's constantly printer jams. Constant, right? And somehow they do it creatively. They just stop at a time when you don't want it. Yes, well, one afternoon, about 10 minutes before the end of my shift, a call came through. The printer downstairs jammed again. I remember a tip a printer technician had once passed on. He said, hey, just place a pen inside one of the compartments of the paper tray. So I went down, I tried it, and it worked. It worked like the treat. But my attention And I did have an intention. It was just to log the fault properly so the technician could action it the next morning. All right? He could provide a real fix and not a pen fix. Now, when I went home, came back next day, I totally forgotten to log it in. Several days later, the printer jammed again. Yeah, the same annoyance it was causing. And this time, the issue escalated to my manager because the manager downstairs, he reported to my manager, you see. They trying to find out who was the person who put the pen in there. No, I didn't own up. Neither did anyone. So that was the thing that I thought, yeah, I got away with. Anyway, now this is what a shortcut actually costs, right? So it's not always money, not always something visible. Sometimes it just costs you a piece of your own integrity quietly in a moment nobody else even notice. And unfortunately, that cost compounds sometimes. Just like the debt that gets reshuffled but never reduced. So my friends, what is the one thing in your financial life right now that you've been fixing with a pen in the paper tray? As an analogy. Not a list of possibilities, but just one thing you already know what it is. Is it the plan you abandoned after a fortnight? Or is it a conversation about spending you keep not having? The cover you keep meaning to sort? So, in your own time with God, name it. Not for condemnation, but for clarity. Hey, because the boy alone in that room, me, stickers rearranged and a cute looking self, he didn't learn anything that afternoon. Learn anything good, that is. He just postponed a lesson. But Yi Hang Wang, he turned the real cube. Must be thousands of times in rooms where nobody's watching and nothing felt like progress until one day the solution came in 5.54 seconds. So again from the Bible, perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. That is what steadfastness produces, my friend, not the shortcut. So the real cube is sitting in front of you right now, somewhere. Please go and pick it up. And that's today's message of hope. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends far and wide. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.